it throws me off every single time that it just cuts off on me, and I'm like, damn it, do I start now? It just sounds awkward. But welcome everyone to another episode of the LPF show. It is the last one of the year. Shocking. 2022 has come to an end, and what a year, like the title says, it has been. I am, man, when you sit back and think, like, it feels like yesterday that this year started. Like, I remember New Year's like very vividly, and remember what I was doing on New Year's, and now we're in 2023 next week. So that is kind of crazy to me. But as always, we have my co-host Chris is here with us. We're here.
Wow.
Well, who you waving at?
I look straight up and waved, knowing damn well my camera's right.
Way to go, Chris. Way to go. You know, did you know you said you know that your camera was there, but did you really? Because clearly you didn't.
My life's a movie. It's always on me.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So, what's up, guys? So this is going to be pretty much a lax show. We're going to be just talking about probably some of our favorite moments of 2022, like some of our favorite things. I might have thrown that just for Chris, our 2022 favorite things, maybe give you guys some of our favorite games, movies and stuff like that, and tell you what we're most excited for 2023, which is going to be another big year because just remember how this year started, right? We were coming into 2021 and we were complaining about games not coming out, and then everything came out this year where it's just like I mean, what did we have this year? Pokemon came out this year
Twice,
which is twice, right? Because Arceus came out at the beginning of the year, which is when you sit back and think about it, that's insane. That it came out that quickly, right? Pokemon came out. We had obviously my favorite game, God of War, came out this year. We had Elden Ring that came out all the way in March, which is insane that game still held all its relevance to win Game of the Year, which is crazy because most of the time the game that comes out in the beginning of the year kind of gets forgotten, and God of War came out like literally at the end of this year, so it kind of was just out there. That was insane. What else did we have this year? What were some of your titles that we had this year for 2022?
Boy,
Stray came out.
Stray,
a nice little one.
I'm sorry, my dog is being. You can see her fluffy butt right there. You see her being nosy.
She
always nosy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what else came out for me that I liked a lot?
High on Life. I know you're playing that.
Yes,
on your
I
channel.
am currently playing High on Life.
Mm-hmm.
Sports Story just recently came out for me. Like you said, God of War.
A Plague Tale 2 came out. Tunic is another one.
Oh, Tunic is another one. That's really good. Yeah. So many.
Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Yep. Last Clockwinder that came out on VR for my VR fans.
Sifu came out this year, which is kind of a forgotten game.
Yeah.
Cult of Lamb, which I thought was fantastic,
came
out this year. That's a good one.
Yep.
The Kirby Forgotten Land came out today. Not today, but this year. There's been some good ones. Oh, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga came out this year.
What is it? Live Alive or Live Alive?
Yeah. Xenoblade 3, Horizon.
Xenoblade is kind of one of those games that's like, you were waiting all year for, and you got it, and you're not playing anything next year. So
yeah,
from what I
mean, listen, yeah, man, there's some games out there that they are time dumb, but you know what? If that's what you're playing, and that's something that I'm striving to do better for next year, is continuing the games that I am playing, regardless how long it takes me to beat. I need to for sure beat the game before I start another one. All right, like it just has to happen because because some of these games, especially the longer form games, right, like the RPGs, because I am an RPG fan and I enjoy playing them. There's times where like I may have put in 20 hours in some of these games, and I load it back up and I have no idea what I was doing. and I need to focus. I'm even strongly considering just restarting in some of these games because I don't remember a thing. Like
I
I don't
can't
remember how
believe
to
Paul
fight.
betrayed us. Who?
Like
Wait, what?
yeah, I don't remember how to fight. I don't remember how to do anything. So I'm like, yo, listen, I might as well just restart from the beginning, have a brand new experience, and just play it one way through. So like obviously, like, not playing it all the way through, but playing that one game, and so I can remember where I'm going and finishing the game. So that's one of my goals for next year. I do want to do that. I'm playing right now Super Robot Wars, which if you like anime mech games, it's an old stuff, but it's a strategy game. It's one of the few strategy games that I actually like.
Tactics game, like a.
It's like tactics,
Okay.
yes, but it's all the mechs from animes. So like you have Gundam Wings, you have like Shin
Oh.
Robos. Yeah, it's an older game, but it's really fun. Uh, so I'll definitely want to finish that. I've already got like 27 hours in there, but it's nice. Strategy games are nice because you get to kind of just play them on the side, right? Like you don't really have to like focus too much because like you're doing your strategy and like it's one per like it's enemy turn, your turn. So it's kind of nice to just sit back and play a game like that. So that's the game I'm going before I do something else. But yeah, so 2022 we had, not only in the gaming side, right? We had movies and TV
Fantastic
shows,
show. I think this year was
right?
just an overload of content, man. It
Oh
was
yeah.
just like I was it got to a point where I was like, I have to stop everything. I can't I can't like hold on.
Yeah.
So
I mean TV shows definitely we had, for recent TV shows we had obviously we had Wednesday, which was phenomenal if everyone wanted was checking that out.
Harley
We
Quinn.
had Harley Quinn TV show. We had Willow. I don't know if anyone's watching Willow.
I am
That's
not.
on
That's on
it
that's
is
on my
so good
radar.
on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. So good. We had Andor, which was one of my favorites. Moon Knight came out this year.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel came out this year.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, Halo. Like,
Take that out.
listen,
You
I'm not
didn't-
saying it
yeah.
wasn't the best. I said what I said. What I said was things that came out this year. Okay,
We didn't need to bring that up. I don't need to be
It
reminded.
came out. It came out, and we reviewed every episode.
And we lay it to rest until they come out with season 2 and say, here it is. And then I'm like, okay, here we go.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. It was out there. We did watch it and we did review it. Okay, so however else you feel about it is on you. Okay,
Yeah.
it's on you. But we had those shows come out. Even what you call it, Vox Machina came out this year, which is really good on Amazon. What else came out? Peaky Blinders season 6, Harley Quinn season 3, like you said.
Blade
Blade
Runner. No, yeah, Blade Runner. Not Blade Runner. Cyberpunk.
Fantastic. Pretty much saved the game.
Yeah.
Like, single-handedly. Better Call Saul series finale happened. Interview with the Vampire. Like, man, The Boys season 3. Dang. Atlanta season 4.
Demon
There's
Slayer
so many good
came
things.
out at the beginning of the
Demon
year.
Slayer. I know.
We started the year off with that. Can you believe it's been a year?
I know.
This is pain. Well, I mean, you know what? It with the overload, it kind of made me like put it in the back seat until I just reminded myself now that it's almost been a full year since I've gotten more.
But the good thing is there's been so much things to watch. How could I forget House of the Dragon and Rings of Power came out this year. Like, if there was that, there was a time frame there where if you were just a fantasy fan, you had everything. Like you had everything you wanted. But House of the Dragon came out, fantastic. So was Rings of Power. Man, it was a good year. A good year for television. Go ahead. So was Rings of Power.
Okay. I'm sorry guys. I'm making sure the stream is good. Everything's good. I have a background here that's a Christmas photo, and not Christmas photo. It's a Christmas background, and it has a wallpaper engine, and it has an audio that I have to mute. And I thought I forgot muting it. I thought I forgot to mute it, and it was playing the whole time, but it's not. So it's because I have both the streams open. Because last week Twitch wasn't working. Our last episode, Twitch wasn't working for us, and now I got it to work for. Yeah. So apparently, I was sending it too much information. It was like, you need to dumb it down a little bit, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. And then remember, we did have the, Stranger Things was
That
this
was
year,
this year.
right? Stranger Things, and we had the holiday special for Guardians. Man, it was a ton of stuff that came out this year.
I
Really
gotta
good
ask you real
stuff.
quick too. What's one thing you remember from the Guardians episode?
What do you mean?
Because
Like,
everybody, if I talk about it, people do a specific thing that stuck with them for some reason. I just want to see if you would pick up on it.
probably not. I
Okay.
think the one thing, yeah,
A lot of people do the arm
yes,
thing.
I didn't. That's a very niche thing. That's not like, oh, I just picked up on that. Like,
I'm just saying, people were like, oh yeah, Guardians, and I was like, that's okay.
that's what you remembered. Like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to remember. Like in that, because like it's not something that's like right in front of your face either. So
Yeah, I've had 2 or 3, but whatever.
that's weird. But yeah, I got nothing. That's weird to me. But yeah, we had some great shows, like I said, and then we also had some great movies. And yeah, movies were good. We had obviously long awaited Wakanda Forever came out. We had we had 3 Marvel movies this year, right? We had
Thor.
Multiverse of Madness.
Was that this year?
Yeah, that was definitely this year.
Okay. Spider-Man
Right?
wasn't this year, right? No, that was last.
Spider-Man was in December.
Okay, I'm getting my timelines mixed up.
Oh yeah,
I'm gone.
I want to say Multiverse, but don't quote me on that. Actually, yeah,
I think it was March. It was like May.
Yeah,
it was our May movie.
It was 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness definitely came out this year. Yeah, 2022, and then we had another Marvel movie before that. After that. I want to say it was. Gosh, what was it? I'm missing a movie.
Are
we
we?
had Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I said Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay,
that
okay,
was
you
it.
didn't-
That's
you
because I
didn't
don't
say
like
it.
that movie. Yeah, that's why. It's because I didn't like it. It's making me completely forget it.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. And then he came out and said, like, I want to make a serious Thor. I was like, I bet you do.
I bet you do. Like, my thing is, again, my gripe, and you guys can listen to the review if you want to listen to the whole thing. My gripe with that movie was the fact that in Ragnarok, we did a really good job at balancing the funny, right? We balanced with the funny with the serious. I still believed all of the serious tones that happened in Ragnarok, but I was still able to laugh at the non-serious moments. This movie just said, whatever, we're just going to go all the way to the right with just making it exactly like making it trying to make it as funny as possible, and it didn't work. And clearly, because that didn't work, now you're going to have like a whole, they're going to want a more serious Thor, especially when you had movies that came out this year that did a really good job at serious. You just have to do a good balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
At those. The Batman came out this year, which I loved. I don't care what anyone says. That movie to me was fantastic. Matt Reeves was, it was so good. It was so good. That was probably one of my favorite movies of the year. What else came out this year? Obviously, Wakanda Forever, which we said already. If you haven't watched Everywhere, I don't even know
Everything,
the title. Everything, Everywhere, whatever.
All at once, something like that.
Yeah, all at once. Please do yourself a favor and go watch that, because it's definitely 100% going to be nominated for Best Picture. But it is an amazing movie. Please go watch that. Also, if you haven't watched Top Gun Maverick, that's also a fantastic movie that came out this year. So there's a bunch of things to watch. I do plan on doing my little Oscar thing this year, where I just pretty much crash course like everything. But the good thing is this year I didn't miss a lot of movies, so I shouldn't have to like watch a lot of movies. But I'll do like little reviews.
I think this year will be a lot of. I don't think it's going to be a lot of like box office movies. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of streaming service movies.
Well, it was that was last year too,
Yeah.
but because a lot of these movies went back into the theaters, like Everything Everywhere All at Once just recently showed up on Showtime, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
And that movie came out in March. So they've been I know that movie's is possibly going. I think that movie for sure is going to get nominated. I don't know if it's going to win, but I know for sure it's going to get nominated. Everything else, yeah, most for the most part, since they do 10 movies, you can you might get a foreign film in there. They're probably going to count this as the foreign film, to be completely honest, but it does depend. So
Did you watch Avatar?
I have not, and I'll tell you why I haven't watched Avatar yet. Avatar is 3 hours
Yeah, I know.
and 15 minutes. And the way that my schedule is working, when exactly am I going to go watch 3 hours and 15 minutes of a movie? Because it's 3 hours and 12 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do some, simple math. Oh, which speaking of movies, I did get Movie Pass again, which I'll talk about in a second. But so Avatar's 3 hours and 12 minutes, right? It takes me maybe 40 minutes to get to Disney Springs because obviously I have to see it in IMAX or Dolby 3D. Like I can't just go to a regular theater to go watch it, right? So 40 to 45 minutes to go to the movies. All right. So that's 40 to 45 minutes there. And you know how Disney Springs is, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get out of your car. You got to walk to the thing.
Through the
By the
crowds.
time you get to the theater, that's another 10 minutes we just added, right? I get into the movie. Even if I miss the trailers, right? The trailers are 20 to 25 minutes, especially for a big movie. It might be 30 minutes. Okay. So there's another 30 minutes. That's not even counting the time that it's actually going to start. Then you have to watch 3 hours and 12 minutes, right? You have to watch 3 hours, 12 minutes. And as a person who wasn't so hype about the story inside of the first one, the 3 hours and 12 minutes don't excite me. It's not like I'm going to watch Endgame or Infinity War, right? Where I'm excited for 3 hours because I'm like, yo, what are we going to see
where
in
you're
these
gonna
3
get.
hours?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to see in this movie. And on top of that, I then have to travel again another 40 minutes. So I've wasted not wasted, but I've spent 6 hours going to watch this movie. It's why I won't watch Babylon, which is the new movie that came out with Margot Robbie.
How long
And
is that?
3 hours and 2 minutes. And I love Margot Robbie, but come on. 3 hours and 2 minutes is too long to go watch a movie that I don't know what it's about.
You heard it here first.
So I'm just saying. Now, will I go watch it at some point? Absolutely. But you know how it is. But speaking of Movie Pass, so I don't know. Did you know Movie Pass came back?
No, I think we talked about it on the show earlier this year about the rumors. Yeah.
Yeah. So it came back, and the deal is actually not bad. It really just depends on where you live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where you live and how much you go. So here are the good things about it. So the good things about it is there's a $10 feature, right? You can pay $10 a month, but they give you a certain amount of credits. So the $10 one gives you like 34 credits. Okay. The good thing about these credits is the credits can then roll over.
Ooh.
So if you don't watch movies within that month and you still pay your fee, you'll get the next month you'll get 68, right? So what they do is if you watch a movie between Monday and Monday and Wednesday or Monday and Thursday morning, like if it's not a new release, those movies get a certain price tag on them. So let's say it'll be like maybe 14 credits, right, to watch that movie. So you can, with the $10 deal, you can watch 3 movies within that month, right? If you watch them at non-peak hours. Okay. If you watch them at peak hours, you'll probably get like 2 movies, maybe like 2 movies or maybe even 1.
So it matters about like matinee times and stuff?
Yes, okay. Exactly.
All right.
So the reason why it's a good deal for me personally the $10 one, is because all the premium movies I'm going to watch anyway are going to be at Disney Springs, which is what I have my AMC movies for, right? But anytime I want to go watch a horror movie or something that's smaller or low budget and I don't need a big theater, there's a Regal right by my house that's only 10 miles away. So that only takes me 15 minutes to get to. So I don't have to drive all the way to I don't have to drive all the way the to
Springs.
Disney Springs
Yeah.
when I can just go to the Regal and I'll watch 3 movies there within the month that I don't need, to go see my AMC stuff. But the AMC is still going to pay for itself because I'm only going to watch premium movies there, right? So remember, Dolby tickets, IMAX tickets, those are 18 to $23. So your AMC pass is only $21. So $30 to watch unlimited movies for me, like between AMC and Movie Pass, it's perfect. So I say, depending on where you live, it can be a good deal and something to look in.
Yeah, I'm that's actually on my list this for next year is to watch more movies because I was slacking this year.
Well,
I missed
you
that
already
time.
know.
Yeah.
Listen, I already got so I have a thing on my phone that can link your Google account, if you have Google,
Yeah.
to all the movies that come out during the month.
And
So
it'll
like
tell you?
it automatically updates all my movies for me. So my Google calendar right now has all the movie release dates till whenever. Like,
Jeez.
and it automatically adds it. So it tells you which movies are coming out and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Real quick, going back to the gaming side of like things that came out this year.
yeah.
The Steam Deck
Oh
was released
yes.
this year.
I mean, we
Yeah,
got the
that's
Steam Deck and the cloud,
Yeah.
what you call it. But yeah, I know. You go ahead and talk about Steam Deck because I know that's your baby right
the
there.
Steam Deck is my baby. If you can get one, get one. I mean, the fact that this company was able to one, it was all pre-orders, right? You got they were reservations. So you got a reservation. When your reservation came up, you got an email, you had 3 days to buy it, right? And then they hit all their marks. Even when hitting their marks, they were like, hey, so we hit our goal for this month. So we're actually going to be able to send out, what the heck? Stop it, Siri. We're actually going to be able to send out a lot more, right? And then each month that happened. And to the point now where you can go on Steam right now, as I'm speaking, and type in Steam Deck, and you will get one in 2 weeks. Like,
Yep.
it's crazy. And I think everybody should get one. I mean, there's talks of another one coming out. I don't know if it'll be next year. We'll see. But like this thing is everybody's found something for it, especially if you like emulation. And Valve as a whole is helping everybody out. They're like, oh yeah, emulation. Yeah, we can do that. Cool. Okay, so we actually put it in this app. So you click on the app, and then it has all those lists of emulators. And it's like, download the emulator. And then all you have to do is add your ROMs and you're good to go. Good to go.
Yeah,
it's all here for you. Oh, yes. Legally. Legally. Have a copy of the game.
And you have to have a copy of the game,
Yes.
people. Okay? Or else you can get in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're looking for Nintendo games. Just saying.
They come.
Because they will come after you.
Yeah. I mean, I remember at the beginning of people were showing you how to emulate GameCube games. And that lasted for about 2 weeks, and then Nintendo went on the rampage and took everybody's videos down. So, but aside from that, like this thing can do a lot of stuff, man, and it's an awesome kit, and they keep adding games, more and more games that are compatible to it. So, Steam Deck is probably one of my favorite things that I've gotten this year. So
yeah, I was about this close to buying one for myself, but I need to get a laptop first. But I was literally this close because I had it and I saw it on there and I was like, I kind of, and then I got my new chair and desk.
I mean, it is a laptop technically.
It is, but it's not enough for work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like, and let's be real, am I going to do any work on there if I had to do it? Like, I'm just not. So, but no, I do, especially now, I would definitely love to get one. Like I said, I think after I get myself a laptop, um, just for work related and being able to move around, like, you know, with so I can still do the podcast and stuff, is just a little bit more important than getting the Steam Deck because I don't play um portably as much. But I know if I do get one of those, I'm definitely going to be playing more portable, especially like more so of the side scrollers and stuff like that. Are going to be nice to play on those, especially because I have so many games that I need to play on Steam, which add to my New Year's resolutions. I need I need to get through my backlog. Okay. There's just it. No, 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 no. I'm not. Listen, I've put it off for
No,
years.
man.
Okay. No, I'm doing it, Chris. I'm doing it next year. Okay. I don't care if I finish 5 or whatever the case may be. There's too many games on this list that need to be completed. So I'm going to do it next year. At least, I'm setting a goal for myself, guys. I need to beat at least 5 games on my backlog.
All right,
At
that's doable.
least.
All right, okay. I mean, you don't
Okay.
have God of War or anything to look forward to this year,
Oh,
so
well, no, no, no. But I'm saying, I mean, there's games that I'm going to have to play this year, like Starfield's going to come out. I mean, that we can go right into the things that we're excited about for 2023.
are you really gonna play Starfield?
Of course, I'm going to play. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I felt like like it was as they
No,
were talking about it. You were like, this is kind of falling off the
no,
radar a
no.
little bit.
That was Yendi. Listen, for me in Starfield, I'm a huge fan of Fallout, right? I love Fallout. And if it's space Fallout, then I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to play that game for as much as I played the Fallout series.
And I
like,
could see myself, like, with the ship design and everything. It's definitely gonna be a
Exactly.
podcast game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see there's not even like there's no reason for me not to play that game. Like, I enjoy those games. I've always liked those style of games. I don't think I'll play it, especially because it's going to be on Game Pass. It's not like
Facts.
I'm buying it.
I forgot about
Like,
that.
you know what I mean? So that, again, you know how I feel about Game Pass already. My favorite thing every year. But yeah, but next year, I'm not gonna lie to you, next year is a banger though. Like, next year's, if these games that they're saying are supposed to come out are coming out, next year's a banger.
Right now, all I
'Cause
need is like I need 2 games to succeed for me.
mhm,
Okay, and it's very early hits in the beginning of the year. Technically 3 games now because of so Jedi Survivor, right?
okay.
Starfield
Yep.
and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I
Yep.
need that game to be good,
So,
and it will
I'm
be. I just needed to be like, as
Yeah.
long as I don't open it up and I don't see Pokemon Scarlet on my
Okay, you're fine.
Switch, I'm good. But
I
yeah,
mean, as crappy as Scarlet and Violet looks, the gameplay
people
is so good.
love that
The
game.
gameplay is amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's why.
crazy. I found out myself that I'm not that big of a Pokemon fan anymore to keep in it. I'll
Mhm.
probably pick it up again. But yeah, like with me not being too into it, and then also with the frame rate drop and everything like that, I was more excited about the multiplayer stuff.
Mhm.
And then I had a friend talk to me about multiplayer, and you can't do anything. Like, you can't do, you can't go to the gyms together, which that I understood, but also you couldn't do like the star team raids or whatever, like the star, like the battle raids or
Yeah.
whatever. So you would, if you both went to one, you would separate and then do the mission at the same time and then get back together
Yeah.
afterwards. But you couldn't fight together. So I was like, that kind of.
But of course, that's their first time doing it like
Yeah,
that. So
it'll
I
only get better. It
expected
only
that.
goes up,
Right.
and hopefully, like, I mean, to be honest, I would rather get an announcement from Nintendo at E3 that are like, "Hey, we're working on the next Pokemon game, but it'll be out in 2024, not 2023."
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it yearly. Pokemon hasn't been really yearly, has it? It doesn't
I
come out
feel like it
yearly
has. I
like
feel
that.
like I mean, they do a lot of. I think they
we've
fill it up
gotten
with a lot of like the. 'Cause we got the
remasters,
the
but
diamond,
yeah,
all that stuff,
like
yeah.
Shining Diamond but like as far as like from because what was the one before this one? Like the main game, not Arceus. What was the one before this? Pokemon.
Sun and
Let me look
Moon.
it up. It was for the Switch, right? Pokemon main
Yeah.
games.
Sword and Shield.
There we go.
Yeah. Sword and
Right,
Shield.
Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I
So
think
yeah,
so.
Sword and Shield. And when did that come out?
Let's see. Sword and Shield.
Sword and
November
Shield.
15th, 2019.
Yeah, so you know that's
Gotcha.
3 years
Yeah.
in between. You know, all the rest of those like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that was just the the remakes. So they, like you said, they do fill it up. But like so Sun and Moon came out, then we had Ultra Sun and Moon,
Mm-hmm.
then we had Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Oh yeah.
Then it was Sword and Shield. Then it was in 2020 the DLCs, the Isle of Armor, the Crown of Tundra. Then you had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Then you had Arceus. Now you have Scarlet and Violet. So
Gotcha.
it does seem like it feels like it's every year, but their main games usually take about 3 years before. Like they're usually 3 years apart. So yeah, but but let me list off some of these games that are coming out next year that I'm excited for. It's going to be a pretty good list too here. So you have obviously Legend of Zelda, which you said, Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Oh shoot.
Cannot wait.
Kevin Conroy's last performance, as we found out.
Last performance.
Yep.
We have Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
We have Street Fighter 6. Diablo 4 comes out next year. Forspoken, which I played the demo and enjoyed. Hogwarts comes out next year. Alan Wake 2, and if you guys know how much I feel about Alan Wake 1,
you could go back. You could go back. We have the reaction of him screaming.
Alan Wake 2,
he screamed into the mic.
You guys don't understand how good Alan Wake is. Like, it's fine. It's fine. You just had to be there. It's one of those you just had to be there moments, okay? But Alan Wake 2, Dead Island 2. I kind of want to play Baldur's Gate 3. But Redfall, I also want to play that.
I can't remember. Is that was that a vampire game?
That's yes.
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
With the what you call it, Bethesda, and all that. So you have Wulong, which that's that
you were like a bee turning into a monkey thing. Yeah, okay. I forgot about that.
So there's a bunch of games here that I'm excited for, but like I said, I think my main, and you listed off 3 that you want succeeding. I want Starfield to succeed, right? I want Street Fighter 6 to not come out and be ass. Okay? Like I want it, and the good thing about Street Fighter 6 is even though I haven't gotten beta access, a lot of people have been enjoying the game itself. So, and enjoying how the play has been and all that. So, look, if that's the case, I'm all excited for. Obviously, I'm not gonna, say I want Alan Wake to do good because I know it's gonna do good because I'm excited for Alan Wake 2, but I really want Diablo 4 to do well. I think just having a good Diablo that can last you for like 6 or 7 years, you know what I mean, is always a good thing, right? Especially because the launch of Diablo 3 wasn't that great. Diablo 3 became a better game later on. So hopefully with Diablo 4, with the things that they did, with the mechanics that they kind of wanted to add from Diablo Immortals, I'm hoping Diablo 4 can come out, run smoothly, run like a great game that everybody wants to play, and I just want it to be great for a while. So those are my 3 games that I would love for them to be great. The games that I think that are going to be like probably fantastic, like just if I had to go right off the back, like without like worrying, I really think Hogwarts is going to be amazing. Just with the things that it looks like.
Too.
Yeah. Like the way that it looks, I think that's going to be really good. I think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is going to be like Arkham style good. Like it's going to be like, yo, you got to play this kind of game. And I really, really think that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be great.
What are some things that things aren't that are not announced? What announcements do you think we'll get this year that are like, what do you think will most likely happen this year? One, I thought, right, and I'm gonna bring this up, you're gonna roll your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, you already know where I'm going.
I already know where
you
you're
already know
going.
where it's going.
It's not happening.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I was expecting for a cancel to come up, for them to finally be like, this game is canceled. But recently, they posted talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2, people. If you're new here, all right, they recently posted that it's in early development. And I'm
I'm
like,
not paying you any mind, Chris.
what? So
Okay.
it's I don't think we're gonna get anything from that. I'm just saying I was expecting an announcement of a cancel, but what I think will be announced this year is that I think Nintendo will give us something new.
I knew you were going to say
Yep.
that too.
I think they're gonna give us something new hardware wise. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's gonna be a Switch Pro. I don't know if it's gonna be a Nexus. How long has the Switch been out?
The Switch has been out. It's been a while.
It's been like 6 years. I was still at the Palace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's for sure been a while. I'll let you know right now.
Yeah.
Let me
It's
look it up.
I think it's time. I think everybody knows it's time.
Listen, it was time when the thing came out. Like it was.
I mean, yeah.
It was time when it came out, because the thing is, it was already behind. It came out in 2017. So that's what 5 years.
Yeah.
Since it came out. So I mean 5 years. Well, yeah, 6. It'll be its 6th year in March. But yeah, I mean it was time when it first came out. The thing again that we do with the Switch and Nintendo is that we give it so many passes.
Mhm.
And it's well deserved. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not part of the people who continue to buy these games, because I do. Because I've bought I've bought Mario Kart 8 3 times already. Okay? I bought it when it originally came out. I have it again, deluxe, and I bought my brother one. So like it, they just have the titles that they know we're going to go back and play. Like, you know what I mean? Because when you have games that people are going to play, it doesn't matter technically about their performance, because they're going to sell. Look at Pokemon. We've come literally, I sat here and complained about how Pokemon is, but do I have it? I do. Like I like, you know what I mean? And it's not, and the graphics are awful, but
It's
the
the
gameplay
best
is so
garbage
good.
game that you could play right now. And
It's
that is so weird to say, but every review
dude,
has said this game has no business.
no,
It is not done. It is not
no,
finished. It is not complete. It
trash,
is broken, and they love it.
trash.
That's literally all these articles. It's all they list all the problems, and they're like, "But I love it." And it's like,
Trash.
okay.
The game looks horrid. Like it's not even funny like how bad this game looks. This game looks bad. Like you can see some of the like when the fans are in the back, and it's just like, bro, it is so bad. But man, those quality of life changes mask that up real quick. The fact that you can quick battle, love it. Like, you know what I mean? It makes training your Pokemon so much better. If I could just get if the graphics could just be a little better, just a little better. Like, you know what I mean?
I
just
feel
need
like
it
that's
to
going to be one
a
of the
little
games.
better.
I think because they're doing updates and stuff like that.
They can't update that.
You don't think so?
Bad. Bro, they don't have the hard. Nintendo
Yeah, you're right.
is already doesn't have the hardware, but they also are very, very, very what's that, stubborn when it comes to updates. Look at Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you know what I mean? Like they don't make they get to a point, they get enough of their stuff, and then they say, you know what? It's on to the next game. Like people are already paying it, people are gonna buy it, or whatever. And then it's gonna just hold its value the whole time.
Yep. But mark my words, man. This time next year, we'll be talking about the new Nintendo thing and how it came out. That's what I'm thinking.
That's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be interesting. Also, I failed to mention a couple of games, by the way. Dead Space, the remake, is coming out January 27th.
Ah, shoot.
Yes. Spider-Man has a release window, which is apparently fall of 2023.
Thank you.
So there's that. The highly anticipated The Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out. The Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out. And then yeah. So
I also think, sorry, I'm gonna
No, go ahead.
I also think Unfortunately, a PS4 5 Pro will be announced, and I think Xbox will announce a new partnership, not a new console, because I think their console's top. Like they don't need. I don't think it can go any further. At that point, you need to buy a computer.
No.
Just buy the computer.
No, yeah.
But Sony's gonna come out with a PS5 Pro, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sony. You know how Sony.
I know they're
Sony
gonna do their thing. They're gonna do their thing.
Sony again. I love Sony. Obviously, I have a PS5. The thing about Sony is they're going to do. I really love how Sony has said, you know what? We're not even going to hide the fact that we're going to copy Microsoft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the new controller?
Yeah, I did.
What does that remind you of?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that remind you of? They're not even hiding it anymore. I saw that controller and went, wait a second. That is an elite controller. Like, it's literally an elite controller in PS5, like in a PS5. And that's fine. Like, I don't think that's a problem.
Special guest, my dog and my wife with the kid. My wife.
So, yeah, I don't think that's a problem. I just think it's hilarious that it's blatant now. It's just like, you know what? We don't care. So it is what it is. I do think they'll come out with a Pro or something like that, especially just to help with the system sales. Not that their system sales are bad, but just because
people are going to trade them in, and
more people want the system, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit easier to get now. I know, like for the first time, I actually saw it like on Amazon as like click thing.
Unfortunately, it's all it's like they're locking them away in bundles, and that's been kind of upsetting. I've seen way more bundles.
Yeah, but the Amazon ones are pretty good because you can get the bundle with either Horizon or God of War. Realistically, what do you? I mean, one of
you're
those
gonna want
games,
the game,
yeah. Like you know what I mean. So that's not a bad deal. But they're going to, and that mostly when it comes to bundles is going to be It's not actually Sony who's doing that. It's actually the company, or who's selling it, because they might have controller like an overstock on controllers that they're trying to get rid of. So they're just like throw it in the bundle with this thing. You know what I mean? That's why you'll see places like Costco and BJ's and stuff like that. They'll sell it in a bundle because they have too many controllers, or they have too many game titles that they're trying to get rid of. So yeah. So overall, yeah, I think you're right. I think we do get a or what you call it, a Sony Pro, or something like that. As far as like you said with Xbox, I think doesn't really care as. I mean, the system's already super strong.
It's
right?
It's good,
and you can remove parts, you can add parts, you can do whatever you want. But not only that, but you can see how Microsoft is slowly trying to trying to actually move away from just consoles in general.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying like they don't want to sell their consoles, but they're going into Samsung TVs, right? They're trying to get into this cloud. They're really trying to tackle that market, which, like I said from the beginning of this year, and I mean, even when we started the show, that was going to be the way that we start, playing games, right? Think about it. If your Steam Deck can now play like handhelds and stuff like that, and you have access to it, fantastic. The Logitech controller, the Logitech thing, is another cloud gaming system, right? Now I can play, if I can remove making the hardware, and I can get, it's not there yet, but I'm saying if I can remove the hardware and get similar graphics and just the access to getting people to play, regardless if it's on their TV, if it's on their computer or whatever, that's the real way you actually win, because people are going to subscribe to your service just because they want your game to play your games. And we see that model has worked in movies, TV shows with Netflix and Disney Plus, because there's not a person, even if they're not playing for Netflix, that doesn't have access to Netflix. So
I mean, Netflix is making games now too, which is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
weird.
Yeah. Man. So overall, that's what they're reaching for, right? So
I'm just firing them off my head. I also think, all right, Chris's predictions. I think obviously we know we're gonna get some kind of remastered game. We always do. I think the Arkham games are gonna get remastered. One of them. Maybe
That wouldn't be
City.
bad. Maybe I think they would start with the first one. I
All right,
don't
Asylum.
understand why they do. You have to remaster from the first. Like, I don't understand these game companies that just like, unless your first one was just horrid and terrible. I don't see, like, Arkham City is the one. I mean, Arkham Asylum is the one that should be remastered just because
Yep.
it's the oldest. But I mean, those games still hold up, man. You could play those games now and still be like, enjoy yourself.
I think
Again,
it'll be
you
a
know
quick,
me.
like, I don't think it's gonna be like a big production thing. I think it's just gonna be like, you know, because with the recent passing and everything, I think
Yeah.
they want to preserve it more.
If
And
if they were smart, what I would do, honestly, and I would do this with a lot of remasters, I would package it with the game that I'm selling. So, for instance, in this particular instance, I would package it um with Suicide Squad. I would add, like,
I miss those.
if you
I
get,
think games used to
yeah,
do that all the time. You're
they
like, you
used
buy,
to.
yeah, and you get a
So I would
earlier
package it with
copy.
that, and just so that people would have access to those games, right?
Yeah.
And kind your and you have, without, because I mean, bro, games are $70, right? Like, you know what I mean? You can't. I just listed all those games, right? That we were just talking about, right? But if you like I said, thankfully we have Game Pass, but like, if you bought all of those games, Final Fantasy, $70, right? Fallen Order, it's $70, or Survivor, $70, right? You, like, if you buy one game a month, you're spending $70 a month. That's a ton. That becomes a lot once you've realized, oh, I bought all these games, which is why most of the time, unless it's a game that is going to be a knockout, I'm not spending $70. Like, I spent $70 on God of War because
You knew.
it's God of War. Like, there's no way, there was no doubt in my mind that when I started playing God of War, that I was going to love every single second of it. There was just no doubt. Like, I had full trust in that studio to make this game, especially when they delayed it. I was just like, people were mad. I was like, nope, they're just perfecting it. I was still mad, but like, more of a joking mad than actually upset. Take all the time you need. And you know what? I played a game that was finished, polished, and fantastic. $70, take my money, right? But I ain't paying $70 for a game that I'm, do I know this game's gonna be good? Like, Starfield would be, I feel like, even though I'm excited for it, like, I'm more inclined to play Starfield because it's going to be on Game Pass than it is if I were going to buy it for $70. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the realness,
Text your brother
and
and tell him I'm doing the podcast. He tried to call me. All right. Sorry, my
yeah,
brother-in-law tried to call us in the middle of the show.
you're good.
All right.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So with that said, like, it's hard again to get, and especially now that Xbox has confirmed they're going over $70, which I just feel like they're just saying that more for the PC people. But realistically, guys, if an Xbox exclusive game comes out, you might as well just get Game Pass, even if you're going to get it for a month. Like, would you rather pay the $14.99, even if you're paying at full price, to play this $70 game, and then you can just cancel it when you're done?
Yep.
So, but I think anytime Game Pass goes on sale, you guys should get it. If you see one for those $20 for 3 months, buy it, because
It's
it's worth
coming
it.
less and less
Prominent.
yeah. They're
So,
definitely have the popularity now.
yeah.
I mean, they've always had it, but now we're getting to a point where they're like, all right, man, we're gonna stop giving you these deals for like a penny for 3 months, all this other stuff. Like, it's,
I mean, you can still get it if it's your first month. You can still get it for $1.
oh, nice. Well,
And that's, again, still totally worth it. All those games that are on there, you won't run out of games to play.
Nope.
But I'm not going to mess with it as much because I'm playing my backlog next year. Okay, that's it. All right. And the last thing we're going to talk about really is just most anticipated movies for 2023, because we kind of didn't get into that. But we have some Marvel bangers. The words that are coming out for Ant-Man are like Marvel's best script. This is what I'm hearing. Okay.
Mm.
This is what I'm hearing.
It's gonna be a big movie, man.
All right. I didn't hear this about these other movies, but I'm hearing it about this one. And listen, I'm not a person who gets excited, but I did have an inclination because, and I'll tell you why I think Ant-Man's going to be really good. Ant-Man's going to be really good, not because I think, whatever they say, obviously they're going to write their scripts. People are going to say, oh, it's the best script, blah, 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 right? The reason why I think people are really going to enjoy Ant-Man, one, we had a bad taste with. Two, people liked it, they didn't love it, right? So that's reason one. Reason number two, and I think the most important reason, it's actually going to move the story to where we want it to go. So this is going to be the kickoff point of what we want from Marvel.
Phase 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is phase 5, but I'm saying this is going to get us elevated to our next Endgame or Endgame style of where we're getting a collab movie, right? So Ant-Man is going to be the beginning of all of that, right? And I think what happened with phase 4, and I talked about this in a lot of those the podcasts that we did. I think people's problem with phase 4 was that it had expectations. We finished we finished the Infinity Saga, and we had such an emotional like dump, you know what I mean, essentially, that people were like, I just want that again. I want to be on that high again. And they came in with phase 4, and phase 4, it had its faults. I'm not going to say that everything was perfect, but we went in with a level of expectation that every movie had to be like what phase 3 was. And you just wasn't going to get that. Obviously, we got our great ones like Shang-Chi, we got Spider-Man. If you guys remember phase 1 didn't have that many good movies. It had 2 good movies. Okay? It had 2 good movies. Like 2 great movies. You've got Iron Man and you got Avengers. That's it. Don't tell me Captain America the first one was great, because it wasn't. Go back and watch it. Incredible Hulk, I like that movie a lot. A lot of people hate that movie. It wasn't that good.
Still have not seen
Thor
that one.
1, not good. Thor 1's not good.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's decent. It's not good. But I'm saying the majority of the movies that came out in phase 1 weren't great. The reason why people, we sit and be like, oh my God, like, we kind of think is because it ended with Avengers.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why people don't say phase 1 was crap. But that was 2 movies out of 6. Like that weren't like, you know what I mean? So phase 4, where I think one of their issue is they were doing TV for the first time, right? So we were getting a large amount of content, right? We were getting movies, we were getting TV shows. Also, don't forget, this also happened during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Where a lot of that stuff got pushed back.
And
a lot of that stuff wasn't, a lot of that stuff. Remember, Black Widow was supposed to come out close to when Infinity War when Endgame came out. And that got pushed out a year. But remember, that movie was already made.
Yep.
It wasn't, they didn't make, like, you know what I mean? So our mindset is already completely different. And how did we all feel when Black Widow came out? Well, this came out too late. Like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I think phase 4 just had a high level of anticipation. Like I said, I'm not saying this as a, that we should just apologize. I'm just saying that with the way that phase 1 was, it was a setup for what we got later on. Phase 4 is the same thing. And then phase 2, now, which is going to be phase 5, I think you're going to get very similar reactions. And I think you're going to get hopefully, we get Ant-Man 3 is as good as Cap 2 is. Because if it is, then we're flying.
It's going to be a heavy hitter year with that stuff, man. Because we got Loki season 2 comes out this year, right?
Yep. Loki season 2. I mean, we get some great movies. We get Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
We get Indiana Jones, which Yendi's excited about. We get a new Mission Impossible. I don't care what you guys say; those movies get better every single time. Okay, so go watch them.
The
We get
last one
Dune.
was good.
The last one was great.
The last one was
and
great.
the one before
yes.
that one was great.
No.
And yes, it was. Yes, it was. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. Those movies have progressively gotten better every single one. Okay. Mission Impossible 1 was decent.
As you would hope.
Mission Impossible
As you would hope
2
they would get
was
better.
great. Mission Impossible 3, sleeper. Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, fantastic. Okay. I don't want to listen. Go back and watch them. I'll watch them with you. I'll watch them all with you because I love those movies. And Dune Part 2 comes out next year.
Yes, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. But for show wise, we'll get back into Star Wars too. We get Mandalorian season 3.
Listen, 2023 might be the year of Star Wars. Like
that's
just
what I'm
TV
saying,
wise.
because we're supposed to get what is it called? Acolyte?
We get Acolyte.
Yes.
We're supposed to get we get Acolyte. We get Mando season 3.
Mm-hmm.
We get Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
We get what'd you call it? Star Wars. What you was Survivor, the game.
Oh yes, Bad Batch.
Yeah, we get Bad Batch. Like Star Wars ain't mess around, and I'm ready for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me all of it. Give me every single bit. Just give me every morsel because I've always believed that Star Wars does this is how Star Wars should be. Star Wars should be TV formatted because it just works with building the world without having to focus on one particular group, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're the best. I think Star Wars works great like this. You know what else I think would work really great as a TV show? Harry Potter. I think if you make Harry Potter a TV show, like just doing different sections of the houses and stuff like that, I think Harry Potter would work perfections. So, but like you said, we get Bad Batch, season 3 of Mando, Jedi Survivors. We get Visions Volume 2, and you know how we feel about Visions over here. Go watch that if you haven't. Because
and What If? We get What If?
Yeah, we do.
Oh man.
We stand for Star Wars Visions, Chris and I, because man, I was watching that the other day with the black and white episode when he had the
so good. Oh, and I told everybody, they're like, well, I would tell everybody the pitch was, I'm like, is there one in there that you're gonna not like? Yes, but the best thing about it is that it's all separate stories. So pick one. But that clip still plays in my head of like, those guys in the circle. Oh. And then the one kid gets a blue lightsaber and then red. Yeah. And I was like, oh!
It's so good. Like it's literally just the visions. Like, man, I love that.
The stories were fantastic.
Loved it. So yeah, but Star Wars is gonna be big for Star Wars next year. So any other TV shows or anything else you wanted to before we wrap it up?
Last of Us.
Oh God, come on. How could I forget? January 15th.
Yeah,
I ain't forget. I got that day circled on the calendar. Guys, there's few things that really get me excited. Okay. God of War, obviously one of them. Last of Us is right there with it. I'm nervous. I'm scared.
I think HBO Max. I feel more comfortable that HBO Max has it.
There we go. That's one of the things that I'm glad you brought up.
Yeah.
I am happy it is an HBO show because regardless of how you feel, whether you're into the shows or not, HBO rarely provides you with bad television. Mm-hmm. Most of their shows get Emmy nominated, even if you never even watched them. And obviously they gave us, Game of Thrones. We're not going to talk about the last season, but Game of Thrones was very much could have been the best show of all time.
Westworld, and they provided even though that's gone now, you can't even watch it.
So, but there was plenty of other shows that they gave us that were up there that you can consider was one of the best shows. Sopranos for a long time. The Wire for a long time. Like, you know what I mean? Game of Thrones, the way that people are reacting for House of the Dragon, Euphoria, like the list goes on and on about all the great stuff.
One of the best one-hit wonders too is Watchmen.
Lovecraft Country.
Oh,
Watchmen
Lovecraft,
and Lovecraft
yeah,
Country.
Yeah.
Both of them were supposed to get,
yeah.
So those are all HBO. So like you said, that gives me a lot of confidence just because it's HBO, but that doesn't mean I'm not scared because I just really, besides giving us like a little bit of before the story, before that thing happens at the beginning of the game, I don't see what you do to change that story. There's nothing that can be done to make that story any better. Obviously, I just want to make sure we have some great like action scenes like that we actually played. Like, you know what I mean? I think that, the quick time like things that they did in that game could be really good graphical, like, motion pictured things, but story-wise, what could you do? Like, you can't do anything to Last of Us 1 to make that story any better. You just can't. So, yes, so I agree. Thank you, Last of Us, for sure. Is January 15th. I'm ready. So, Chris, I hope you're watching it episode 1 because
I am. I'm not missing. I'm not missing. Right. I will be doing debriefs and stuff.
There we go. That's what we like to hear.
You hear me, woman? I'm gonna be doing debriefs this year. We ain't missing.
We ain't missing. So that's the motto for 2023. LPF, we ain't missing. All right.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. If you have anything else, Chris, that you wanted to add before we wrap it up?
Nah, man. I've been streaming and check out my YouTube channel if you like gameplay videos. I've been doing High on Life. And I mean, I think I will say I'm going to put out small videos, but for the rest of this week and the first of the year, we're kind of hitting the ground running with a lot of different stuff at work. So I might, videos might be scarce here and there. But yeah, after that calms down, it'll be, we'll be ready to go. So
yeah. So make sure you guys check out Chris's YouTube page and all that stuff. It is Cold Fever. Is it still the...
It should be just Cold Fever. If you type in youtube.com/coldfever594, it should come up.
Yeah, so go check that stuff out. We'll put in the links. Actually, that's something that I got to work on. Making our links thing in the the thing on Twitch, the bottom. Yeah, I got to actually put have a little thing so it has like our solo things. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna start streaming again next year, but don't.
He's going to.
Don't quote me on that, but I do want to. It's just really when. Okay, but I'll figure something out. But that is going to be it for us on this episode, guys. Thank you for joining us and listening to us banter about all of our favorite things from 2022 things that we're expecting for 2023. Again, guys, we are going to be still rocking for next year. This was a good year for us. We did a lot of things. We did a lot of episodes. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, go check us out on all of our medias and stuff. I'm going to be dropping the podcast episode of this if you guys want to hear it in podcast version tomorrow or later on tonight. So go ahead and check that out if you guys want to listen to it. But besides that, until next time, Fire Team out.
Happy New Year also. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. That one too.